And I saw a beast coming out of the sea. He had 10 horns and 7 heads, with 10 crowns on his horns, and on each head a blasphemous name.
Here is nature gone mad, revealing an unbelievable world of terror. Here is a weird, suspense-filled journey that hurtles you into the most frightening adventure the screen has ever shown.
Scary, isn't it? Wars, rumors of wars, blood on the moon, thieves in the night, mountains falling on people, disasters, earthquakes. It's the kind of thing which can give a grown man the shivers. Amazingly, this is the way many modern TV and radio evangelists see the end times. It's also the way they like to interpret the book of Revelation. Sadly, it's scaring people to death, frightening them into believing. Literally trying to scare the hell out of them is not what the Lord had in mind when he inspired John to write the last book of our Bible. Still, this is the kind of thing which captures people's imaginations. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Pastor Ken Klaus, and I'm the speaker on the Lutheran Hour, the oldest gospel broadcast in the world. Before I go any farther, I ought to tell you what this class is. Well, actually, let's start with what it isn't. It isn't a comprehensive, in-depth college class or seminary-level study on the last book of the Bible, and it doesn't go verse by verse through the book of Revelation. These sessions are designed to give you the tools you need to understand what the book of Revelation is and what it is not, to be able to reject the baloney which is being fed out on TV and radio. It's designed to help you read the book, make sense of what it is, and most of all, help you understand what the Lord is trying to say to you, your family, your church, this generation. As we begin, I have to confess, I'm not a brilliant scholar. What I am is a parish pastor who for years was asked by his people to lead a study on Revelation. When I asked my Bible classes, what do you want to study next? They said, Revelation. Revelation was always at the top of their list. That's because folks have heard a lot about Revelation, about the rapture and the millennium and 144,000 in heaven and plagues and pestilence and lions and tigers and bears, oh my. And because they thought Revelation was this. For centuries, artists have taken the scenes described in the apocalypse and run with it. Peter Paul Rubens drew people in hell. Apparently part of their punishment was they got really overweight. Peter and Hans Briegel had an ability to blend Revelation with their imaginations and humanity's worst nightmares. These fellas did okay financially. They might have made a fortune if they'd done special effects in modern-day Hollywood. Instead, they painted pictures of the revelation of judgment and destruction. This is not the kind of thing you want your children looking at before they go to bed. There are others who have painted the judgment. Michelangelo, 9 years after he painted the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican, was asked to paint the wall behind the altar. He did. For his subject, he picked the Last Judgment. Being the kind of fellow he was, Mike painted a lot of the characters in the nude, including himself. That's him. Shown as St. Bartholomew, who according to church tradition was skinned alive. And if you're saying he's not nude, that's because they brought in another painter to cover, as Monty Python would say, the naughty bits. Elbrecht Dürer did a series of woodcuts on the subject. You may know him because of his praying hands, which hangs in many churches and Christian homes. But it was his depiction of Revelation which brought him a fair amount of renown, wealth, and the freedom to draw the things he wanted. Now you can understand why Dürer's Revelation did so well. In the days before photographs and daily newspapers, before Hollywood and iPods, before King Kong and Godzilla and cable TV, Dürer really socked it to people's imaginations. With immense detail, he showed them pictures of angels chopping away with swords, the whore of Babylon riding on a dragon, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse distributing pestilence, war, famine, and death. It's the same sort of thing which sells today. It's not by accident that they are filming Halloween Part 248, that Nightmare on Elm Street keeps getting revived. The people are still scared of Hitchcock's Psycho, and that we cringe when we hear da-dum, 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 da-dum. We love to be frightened. And if you're appealing to the Christian audience, Revelation gives you a chance to scare the heaven out of the paying public, which is all fine and good if that is what Revelation is really all about. Doing that will make you a lot of money. But is that what God wants? Is that what Revelation is all about? If so, why did God bother to write the book? After all, those early Christians had enough to be frightened about from the emperor and his unholy henchmen. Please, take a few moments to look at your study guide. If you've got time, take a break and then come back. We're going to be taking a look at the heart, the purpose, the themes of Revelation.